Now coming back to our flow, here whatever the student is selecting, I want that selection to be saved in my database. So if I go here in the application form object manager, I want to create one field with the label selected courses. Okay, and whatever is selected, I want to fill that field accordingly. So here I am creating one new field with the name selected courses, and this field I will keep it as text. Okay, and so this is the label of the field, and then the length is 255. Then next, let's make it visible to everyone, and then let's add it to the layout. Click on save. That's it. Now when this field is available, I go back to my flow screen and refresh it. Okay, so as we discussed, we are interested to save the selection of the student into our database, and for that what I need to do is I need to loop over the selection. Now here we are talking about loops. Okay, and what we have to loop? Spin selected courses. Okay, and what is the collection variable? This time the collection variable is selected courses, selected rows. Basically this is nothing but courses which are getting selected, right? And I want to iterate from first item to the last item. Then next I have to connect these two, and then what I can do is I can pull an assignment and assign, or I can write add course name. Here I can have a variable which will say selected courses. Okay, and the data type is text. Okay, and this selected courses I will say add, and whatever is the value of the current loop. So current loop is spinning over courses, and what I want is the value of the name field, so this one. Okay, so this is the loop. Every time it should, for each item in the collection, it should go to perform this assignment. Okay, and once this assignment is done, I want everything to go back to the loop and see if further assignment is needed or not. And once everything is over, once this loop iteration is over, I want it to go to create records, and under create records I need to add one more field which is selected course, and this time this value will come out of this variable selected courses. And done, and save. Now when I run this, I will give just some basic information to save my record. So I select student, next, and the first name as John 23am. Okay, rest fields I am leaving blank. Next, then next, then next. So this is where I have to select the courses. Now let's select the first four. We are not selecting JavaScript. Click on next. All right, so the record is saved to the database. Let's open this record. And here when I open the record, I see this field selected courses and it is null. That means nothing has come in the selected courses. It was not expected, but somehow it has happened. And why it is happening, even I'm not sure why it has happened. Let me do one thing. Let me just save it once more. And this time I will run it in the debug mode. I have no idea why it has not come. So I am just saving it again, and this time I will run it in the debug mode so that I can understand what has happened. I select a student, give the name, and then next, next, next. And here I'm doing the course selection. So when I select 1, 2, 3, these 3 courses, let's select the 4th and 5th one also. I'm selecting all the 5 courses, and when I click on next, here I see that record is created, and while creating the record, now if I see this, it says that selected course is null. That means something is wrong with this selected courses, right? Now when I scroll up, it says that first selected row equals to null. Then I see for the selected courses, these are the inputs, and when I go to the output, even the first selected row is null. Okay, which makes sense because in the selected course table we are not making any selection, so we need to work on our flow, we need to modify it, and instead of writing selected courses dot selected rows, we should write available courses dot selected rows and then just save it. Now let's run it again as a student and give the first name, and then let's navigate straight away to the 4th screen where I'm selecting all the courses and I'm expecting all these courses to be reflected in the database as well. So if I go here and look for this record, I can see that the selected courses are appearing in my database. I am able to save them, and here at the same time we have understood the purpose of using the loop statement. So loop is running over a collection. Okay, this time the collection is basically the selection of rows, and when you spin over, you have from loop you have one path for each item, and then from that item you can come back to your loop, and once it is over there is another path which comes from the loop which is after the last item. That means when the loop is over, then what to do. Okay, so this is straightforward, and we have saved our record in the database, which is a good thing.